Normally, you watch collabs, you don't really learn anything. It's cool to watch, fun stuff. But this is actual quality information that you can learn and change your technique. This video alone can change the way you lift for the rest of your life. Coach Greg, and I don't say this often, but this is a must-see video. If you want to learn from the best of the best, Phil Heath, training with Will Tennyson, and it's arm day, this is the video for you. And so after finishing this video, go and check out Will Tennyson's original video, as you simply don't want to miss all the great tips mentioned in this video.
Dude, your t-shirts probably turn into tank tops out of fear. Just about 21.
Like 16 and a quarter, 16 and a half.
16 and a half?
About 16 and a
Okay,
half.
I'll take that, so.
And so Phil Heath, 20 3/4 inch arms. In comparison, Will's about 16 and a half. Notice how tall Will is. You all think I'm so short. Phil Heath literally being dwarfed by Will Tennyson.
And the tempo isn't going to be like, even after a one count, it jumps back up. We're going to control it back, exactly. So we're going to work the eccentric muscles as well.
And so right from the get-go, Phil Heath saying you need to slow your reps down. People lifting way too fast, improper technique. You want to go slowly on that eccentric. The eccentric is 30% stronger than the concentric. And so please take your time, get that mind-muscle connection.
When they think of arms, they always think of the biceps. Typically, the tricep is about more than a
Two-thirds of the arm, right?
Two-thirds of the arm, right? Yes. So we want to start off with that.
And so he starts with the triceps. The triceps makes up 2/3 of the arm. When people think of arms, they're thinking of the biceps, but in reality, the tricep makes up the bulk of the mass on your arms. Tricep rest down, stop leaning forward so much. Stand upright, take your time, and really master your technique. Don't just throw on the heaviest weight. It's all about technique and lifting under control.
A lot of times you start seeing people, they feel like as it gets heavier, they have to grab this really hard. Here, I'm allowing it to come up. That's how I'm telling myself.
And so rather than speeding through the repetitions, think of this. Allow the weight to come up. That was an excellent tip. Think of it, you could hold that weight at full extension for 10 seconds, but you allow it to come up under control.
It's more impressive for me to hold this and be able to talk to you and all this other stuff while you're seeing it flex.
Yeah.
Than me repping these out super fast.
And so Phil himself says it's more impressive to be able to pause the weight at the bottom under control than to lift a heavier weight and just slam it down, up and down. When I train, I see this all the time on every exercise. Whether it's biceps, triceps, you name it, people are rushing through their workouts. They don't exhibit control. Really pause, control that weight, flex harder than last time, get the mind-muscle connection you need, and you guaranteed can get some results. And lifting the weight under control with that pause is especially important for the competitive bodybuilder. Think of it, you're doing a pose, holding it, you have to hold that pose for several seconds. It's not a matter of flexing and turning around and flexing real quick. You contract maximally, hold it, an isometric contraction. That is literally what you're doing on stage.
You go to failure or rep ranges, or how does that work?
It's more importantly to just get your form down. I don't put a standard on how many reps it is to get myself warmed up. I just want to know that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so Will asks, how many sets do you warm up and how many reps? He says, you don't need to worry about that. What you really need to do is concentrate on your form and your technique. And if you want, well, 15 or 20 reps, that probably makes sense. Slow, strict, really concentrate on your form. That will lead to properly performing the exercise when you're lifting with heavier weights. If you're liking this video, please right now subscribe. Don't wait to the end, you're gonna forget. Subscribe to the video, like it. You can do it right now. You don't wanna miss out on valuable information. Please subscribe and click that bell button right now. And back to the video.
But that's where you have to focus on yourself. Looking at other people all the time, comparing yourself to others, will distract you from getting your own job done.
And so don't worry about the weight on the bar. That's ego lifting. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Just because the person next to you is lifting heavier doesn't mean you need to try to keep up with them. That happens all the time, especially when people collaborate. They're seeing their friend lifting more weight than them. They're trying to lift the same weight. The ego's getting involved. Stop doing that. Put on that weight that you can control and practice the perfect technique. We're body building. We're sculpting the muscle. We're not just throwing heavy weights around, picking things up and putting them down. That is not what bodybuilders do. Perhaps powerlifters and strongman, but bodybuilding, it's all about sculpting and building muscle.
I would never expect like this information because this guy literally looks like he can like press the stack. But I think that's the point. You look like you can do it.
Yes.
But you're not doing it.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
And so Phil Heath, he looks like he can lift a stack, and he can. Just like if you drive a Lambo, it can go real fast. Doesn't mean you have to. You could if you wanted to, but you drive within the limits. You don't go crazy. And when lifting weights, lift within your limits. Sure, you can lift a whole stack. If you cheat, if you lift with improper lifting technique, but why would you do that? Keep under control, use proper mind-muscle connection, master the lift, and that is how you build muscle.
Time under tension is what builds this physique. Okay? He's gonna be posing on stage, and you're gonna be holding that pose for what, 5-10 seconds?
Oh, but Coach Greg, you make us do too many reps. Your training book has guys lifting 12 to 15 reps. That's just fluff and puff.
Why? Because you want to show off an ego lift and brag about how much you can lift? Doing sets of 5, perhaps 8 on your high rep set? It's way harder to lift a lighter weight under control for higher repetitions, higher tut, than it is to bang out 5 reps on a bench press.
I could do the whole stack, but you can't hold that weight right there for 5 seconds each rep.
Yeah.
So how strong really are you?
Such valuable information. Holy.
Exactly. The video is so good, people, you need to go and watch it. Do you know the quality information being presented? Normally, you watch collabs, you don't really learn anything. It's cool to watch, fun stuff. But this is actual quality information that you can learn and change your technique. This video alone can change the way you lift for the rest of your life.
So like even like your working sets, are you can hold it and engage in conversation with
Yes. Why not? We want to show real strength with this.
And so Phil Heath says, even during my working sets, I can carry on a conversation. I can press at full extension, hold it for 5 seconds, and still talk. I'm still pressing hard. You think just because I'm talking, I'm not working hard? Just because you're grunting as fast as you can, slamming the weight, doesn't mean you're training harder than me. Sure, I look relaxed, but my muscles are contracting 100%.
At my gym, I'm doing like even 100.
Of course.
And that feels harder than the 100.
Right, yeah. How does your muscle know?
And so what Will's learning is that with lighter weights, you can make the muscle train harder. Work smarter, not harder. And by smarter, we're talking about lifting with lighter weights, with proper technique, using time under tension, and lifting effectively. Gone are the days where people just lift heavy weights, pick things up, and put them down. That's how teenagers, kids in their early 20s, they lift. They don't know better.
Show them how long you can hold it. Let's do a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, breathe. All right, good.
And so notice this, rather than speeding through the reps, on the final repetition, hold it as long as you can. 5 or 10 seconds, I do this all the time. Rather than rushing through a set, I really squeeze and control the weight. And sure, I only have half the weight as I had on the bar when I used to be at my strongest. But what's smarter? What will allow my body to continue to grow into my old age? If you don't worry about your technique and you use overly heavy weights, you're just going to get hurt, injured, and you won't be able to continue.
Start small, master the hell out of it, make it your bitch, and then move on.
You'd think 7-time Mr. Olympia, he's going to grab the 80s doing dumbbell curls. No, the 25s. Perhaps other females in the gym could lift this much. But did they perform the exercise with the precision that exhibited by Phil Heath? He's controlling the weight, mind-muscle connection, and so he's getting the pump that others cannot get even with double that weight.
If I'm doing 10 repetitions, at least 9 out of 10 have to be perfect.
And so Phil isn't against cheating. It's just that out of 10 reps, 9 of them should be with proper technique. If you want to cheat at the end, fine. But if the majority of your reps aren't done perfectly, then you're ego lifting lighten the weight.
I have that tendency to look down.
Yeah, I know. We all do. We're admiring our work. It's just like, yeah, we got this. I've done this in my state.
And so Will, leaving the ego at the door, rather than grabbing the 35s, like, no, I'm going to master those 25s. That is what you need to do. You need to stop ego lifting, master the lighter weights, and only when you're ready should you then progress upwards.
Nothing in here when he does this. Typical skull crusher. This is what all y'all are doing online. Come here.
Yeah.
And skull crushers, if you have elbow pains and you've been pressing forwards, rather than that, Phil's tip is to push up. That can alleviate elbow strain. And so what really matters when you're trying to lift weights? Well, that you can feel the intended muscle you're trying to work out. You want to feel it in the triceps, and whatever needs to be done to feel it there, well, that is what you should be doing.
And if you got to get that last one or like a partial, I'm good with it.
Okay.
But if that's how you did majority of your reps, that's because if you're cheating, you're not mastering.
If you're cheating, you're not mastering. You need to master the reps. Use perfect technique at the start. If you want to get partial reps or cheat at the end to get those last few reps up or train beyond failure, he's okay with that. But at least master the technique and show excellent form until the end.
When would you say it's appropriate to go to 30s? What would be like my measurement of
You do more than 12 without failing.
And so how do you know when it's time to move up in weight? Well, Phil says if you can get 12 perfect reps, then you can go up in weight. All too often people are thinking, no, I need to do 5 to 8 reps. It's not the case. 12 reps plus. When I coach people and when I train in the gym myself, almost all my repetitions are over 10, oftentimes 15. Why is that? Because TUT and proper mind-muscle connection, they're just more important. As you get older, after you lift it for decades, you learn this. The younger people, you really need to see this video from start to finish. Go watch Will's video, learn from it, and apply these things in all your training. Not just the arms, everything. And so there you have it, one of the best videos I've ever seen my entire life that can in fact change your life. Start training like this. Really watch the video, watch it over and over again. Apply these techniques in all of your training. Stop ego lifting, control the weight, use better mind-muscle connection, and stop comparing yourself to other people. Hope you enjoyed the video, ending it here. Remember, Seco Bars back in stock, 10% off, use code Greg on all supplements and books. Want protein bars, protein powder, pre-workout, you name it, everything's in there. Check out the website, click the link in the description. Also, the training books, the cookbooks, the Circle Diet book, coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. And until next time, I am out.